Hey traders, it's Roberto here, and this is another tutorial for the Pro Traders Workshop. Today's lesson is on trend lines using the Smarttrader platform, which is an incredibly powerful platform to use if you understand chart patterns, if you understand trend lines, how they work. The Smarttrader platform is going to make you a lot of money, and let me just show you. I also confirm all trade signals or trades that I see on the X-Brain indicator. So let's start with pound yen. Now, the most powerful way to use this indicator is using the 4-hour of the daily and weekly chart. Notice on the weekly chart, back on October 6th, we had a trend line break, oscillating for such a long time since June. Notice how it just oscillated back and forth, and finally in October it broke that trend line. If you look on a weekly chart, we also had a trend line break on a weekly as well. Okay, so what I was looking for is confluence. I'm looking for a daily and a weekly chart to basically line up. Okay, and that's what I was looking for. So when I saw the break here on a daily chart, immediately went to the weekly chart and noticed that price already had been broken the trend line on the weekly right there. Okay, and there was actually on the weekly chart, trend line broke back in January 10th. So from January 10th through today, pound yen has been in an uptrend. We had this consolidation period through May all the way through August, and then finally it resumed its uptrend. So looking at a 1 hour, or rather a weekly and daily chart, you can find these incredible setups. So that is how I use the Smarttrader platform, looking for trade signals. Now we have another trend line here at 158.84. If pound yen manages to close above that trend line, it's going to go all the way up to 169. Okay. Now I don't anticipate that happening yet because it is so overbought right now. Pound yen, all the yen crosses are overbought, and I'm waiting for a pullback so I can look for buying opportunities. Okay, so I switched over to the X-Brain indicator and noticed that the 4-hour chart, the trend and the channel direction. Oops, I'm sorry, I'm looking at the wrong chart. You have to switch over to pound yen. So there's pound yen. So daily chart, the trend is up. The channel direction is up. On the weekly, the trend is still up, the channel direction is down, but it doesn't matter. What matters is that if I had, at the time of entry, let's go back to the chart, the time of entry here on a daily chart, the X-Brain indicator, right here, the X-Brain indicator was showing a buy on all 3 times frame, 1 hour, 4-hour, daily chart. Okay, and so there it is. There's an uptrend, and look, this trade started all the way back on October 5th and continue to rally. That's the value of trading higher time frames. You'll get these huge moves to the upside or downside. Let's look at a trade that we took in the trade room, that a trade signal was sent out. Euro Aussie. Okay. Chart patterns are really important. If you know your chart patterns, you would have been able to capture this trade right there. And even before it broke this lower trend line, there was a chart pattern, and we had head and shoulder pattern, right? There's the head and the shoulder on each side. If you know candlestick patterns, you know chart patterns. Our entry was when a candle closed below the trend line, and then we target the extension. So if I take my Fibonacci tool from the swing high to the swing low, right? Look where it is. Price came all the way down to 155.96. Hasn't hit it yet, but that's the target. That was a nice sell-off, a nice 350 pips. I managed to capture half of that, but still, head and shoulder pattern, trend line break. Okay, let's look at the weekly chart and see what it was giving us. Notice the weekly chart had a trend line break here. That was the entry on the weekly chart right there. Okay, and then it broke that trend line, and now it continues, and I'm hoping it can go all the way down to this trend line on the weekly chart. As we're looking at this chart, notice the trend line break on the weekly. So that was a buy signal, and that went all the way up 903 pips. So these trend lines on a Smarttrader platform, extremely valuable, very powerful, and as long as you can stay in these trades, you can make substantial amount of money. Okay, I also looked at I did take this trade here, and I validated this on the X-Brain indicator. Waited till everything lined up for a buy signal and just took this trade. The other trade was Canadian yen. First, I looked at X-Brain indicator, daily chart, uptrend. Okay, main trend was in an uptrend. 4-hour chart, uptrend. Okay, and of course on a 1-hour chart it has changed now because it was Friday and there was a retracement, but both main trend and channel direction were up. So if I look at my chart, notice where price broke the trend line on the weekly chart, right there, back in February. Okay, so from February till now we were in an uptrend based on the weekly chart, and then it retraced, and what happened? It broke the trend line here on October 5th, right there, and it broke the second trend line and continued to rally. So again, trading trades using the Smarttrader platform, trend line breaks, validating that on the X-Brain indicator, very powerful way to trade using the Smarttrader platform and the X-Brain indicator. Okay, so that's it for this tutorial. Please join me in the trade room Monday through Friday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. or I'm sorry, 10 a.m. Eastern. We'll go over these strategies and we'll call out trade signals. I've got an announcement. This is kind of early to go over, but Wednesday, I'll tell you now, it's going to be 2 weeks away. Wednesday, October 27th, there's going to be a webinar with the developers of the Trade Command Center. Really excited to have them in the trade room. You will receive an email if you are on my list, and please be there. If not, it will be recorded. Have a good weekend, and I'll see everyone on Monday. Thanks for watching.